Today is my lucky day. Regular guy in the Philippines. But you changed it to regular guy. Is there a reason for that, Scotty?
Well, it was in the Philippines, but I was in Korea, and somebody commented, and I always listen to the commenters. And somebody commented, "Why do you call yourself in the Philippines if you're in Korea?" And I thought, I like logic, and that makes sense. I'm not yet in the Philippines, and maybe for all I know, I never get to the Philippines because when I started the channel, it was during the pandemic time. So I thought, I better take off in the Philippines until I actually get to the Philippines. But I've been here now for a while, but I still haven't changed it back to in the Philippines.
And I'm here in Angeles City, Walking Street. And Scotty, you like the Philippines more than Korea. And it's because the Filipinas, correct?
Well, basically, let's just say that's got a big part to do with it, yes.
And you do a little in-class English in Korea, or is it online?
My career before?
Is it before YouTube? You're not doing it when you do YouTube?
The reason I started YouTube was to get out of it.
Oh, okay.
So I got out of it after 21, 22 years. And so now I'm out of it. And my goal is to not get back into it. So it entirely relies on the YouTube channel.
Okay, there it is, you sexy Filipinas. Scotty came to the Philippines to get out of English in Korea. And anyway, I can understand. Tell the Filipinas how old you are, Scotty.
Well, I'm 45. Which is, when I was teaching English in Korea, I was the old dude, I was the old dude. And then I come here and I feel like I'm the young dude, So that's a good change, but, you got to roll with the punches, The forces inside me and my surroundings were telling me to get out of Korea, get out of this job that I'm doing, right? And gravitate to something that, my heart desires. Because, I just want to be happy. I'm a simple guy. I mean, don't you want to be happy, right? So my happiness was here. I've known since I was 19 that my happiness was here in the Philippines. So right now, this is my dream coming true. Literally, right now, this is my dream being true. And so, I'm a very lucky guy. And sometimes I forget how lucky I am. But I have to pinch myself and realize that really this is true. I was 19, I first came to the Philippines and I loved it. And it was since I was 19, I've been wanting to live here in the Philippines. So finally, 45 years old, okay? From 19, when the dream began, 45. Now, finally, my dream is coming true.
Let's talk about a little bit of your success on YouTube and what you would want to tell other YouTubers that are starting out. What is the number one and number two key factors that you concentrated on to get up to the level that you desire?
Well, all I could say is that, some people start the tube for money, right? And some people start it because it just comes from their heart, So if you start to, you might as well go for it because, it's anything's better than laying there watching TV or, watching YouTube. I mean, anything being productive is good, right? And even if you don't really amount to anything on YouTube, some people, they got 12 subscribers and 6 months later they got 100 subscribers, and this sort of thing happens a lot. But you just gotta let nature take its course, right? Like, number one, you put your heart into your videos, and then from there, you let nature take its course. And if people can relate to what you're saying, like, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. So when you're doing the video, it's not really the topic that takes place. It is, it's how you are portraying that topic. And so, what was your question?
You told me one time that thumbnails and clickbait is where it starts and what you do. And I agree, your thumbnails are catchy. And of course the video has to follow the thumbnail and keep people's interest, but would you agree that you concentrate a lot on your thumbnails as far as getting people interested?
Yeah, well, look, you got to sell the video, okay? YouTube portrays your video along with 100 other videos. You're competing for the eyeball of the viewers, okay? Now, you could have the greatest video of all time, but if nobody clicks on it, they're not going to know. So you've got to make a good YouTube thumbnail for people to click, and then from there they can decide they like it or not. But when it comes to the algorithm of YouTube, if no one clicks on it, they're not going to promote it to other people who are not your subscribers. But if a lot of your subscribers are clicking on it, then they start to promote it to other people. And the second thing YouTube looks at is how many people are actually watching the video. Are they watching 5 seconds and clicking off? And then they're not going to promote it to other people, right?
And then it's the quality of the video as well. You have a lot of time built up in the Philippines, and you know what you're talking about, and you have a lot of stories. And that's what people are interested in, and they like your stories.
Well, I was so lucky because if I had not come to the Philippines when I was 19 and I didn't have stories, then I wouldn't be able to really do that beginning thing, because it was 1 year I was doing YouTube before I actually came to the Philippines, right? But it was 1 year of videos. All it was me telling stories from my past time in the Philippines. So if I didn't come here early on, I wouldn't have had all those stories. And that was a big reason why I was able to come here and sort of get going.
Let's get back to the Korea thing, and you like the Philippines more because of the culture, and what I mean by that is a little bit of the family culture when it comes to dating. Korean families expect a little more from you when it comes to dating the Korean girl.
That's ridiculous.
In the Filipinas, you still have to watch yourself. You still have to watch yourself when it comes to the commitment to the family. But explain just for a minute how the Koreans really put the pressure on you in the beginning.
Yeah, there's a lot of Koreans here, and you'll notice like they're in a bubble. They will only talk with other Koreans. They will only go to the Korean bars, and it's the same thing. I mean, Korea itself is a bubble. They've got their own way of thinking, and anything outside of that thinking is very alien to them, right? So when it comes to a foreigner marrying a Korean lady in Korea, what you'll notice is that they're sort of hard-headed. Okay, you want to marry my daughter? You've got to make this much money. You've got to buy an apartment there. You've got to go to this store to get all the furniture. And they're just like, why can't I just love your daughter and we'd be happy together? But to them, it's really focused on money, okay? And now, counter that with, you got a Filipino. And now, I mean, they're just sort of happy if you're happy, you know? Like, sure, you can give gifts to their family, you can help their family, but it's not like it is in Korea, where they're very strict. And in Korea, they got this hierarchical society, okay? And so with this, the dad has to be here, so he has to talk loud, and he has to over top of you. And it's just like, well, why can't we just, like each other? You're my wife's father, I respect you, you respect me, but they don't have that. So it's a totally different ballgame. So it's a lot easier. You marry in the Philippines, you live in the Philippines, you deal with the Filipinous family. It's a hell of a lot easier than it is in Korea.
How about the exchange? Are you getting a better exchange rate in the Philippines than you are in Korea?
You mean me, myself?
Your currency, yeah.
My currency. What do you mean, money?
Canadian dollars, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a lot better here. I mean, I never once saw a currency converter there.
Cost of living is probably a little higher there.
A little higher. Well, it's overpriced here, and I would say it's underpriced there, because you could live in Seoul for about the same money as you live here, right? Depending on the specific area in Seoul. But you're in Seoul. You're in Seoul. And here, I'm surprised. You can get cheap here too. It depends on where you are. Like if you're in Ozama City, if you're in a place where there are not many foreigners, then the price is way down. But if you're in Dumaguete, where there's a lot of foreigners, the price keeps going up and up every single year. So we'll see how things play out, but you gotta roll with the punches. I mean, if you can't afford Dumaguete, you live nearby Dumaguete.
And Koreans were probably like this before Samsung, but just comparison, like Honda, Sony TV to the Japanese. I mean, that really elevated Japan and the Japanese culture. Do you think that the Koreans placed themselves up above everybody else because of Samsung, and they've kind of patted themselves on the back a little bit? It's a status thing now. Like Give us your take on that. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Like this video and be sure to share this video with your associates.